Hello, hello. Hey there, good morning, friends. Let's see. Everything seems to be working, which means we are good to go. It is 5:40 a.m. and we're about to get started with this morning's workout. And I hope you're doing really well, and I hope you're having a good time where you're at. If it's 5:40 in the morning, I hope you slept well. If it is later in the day, in the evening, I hope you're going to sleep well, and I hope you're enjoying a good and fun day, or the end of a good and fun day. For those of you who are watching, my name's Toby. I'm 41 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep, trying to get between 7 and 9 hours in a night, hitting 8 hours almost every day now this week, which is good. I feel a big difference. I feel well rested. I think we're all adjusted to the environment we're in for the holidays, which is great. It's a bit cloudy today, but let's hope that dark cloud doesn't shed any rain during the workout. Maybe right after, right? Who knows? I try to mind what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance, which on a regular day is 2,200 calories. But yesterday I hiked up to one of the tops of the mountain from the valley, about 2.5 hour walk. So you can imagine that my energy expenditure increases on a day like that, well beyond the normal energy expenditure. But I hit those 2.5 hours of activity easily yesterday with that, but generally 2,200 calories. Try to eat a lot of vegetables, try to eat a lot of greens, try to eat a lot of fibers, try to eat um, a lot of variety in order to get all the nutrients in that my body requires to grow strong and healthy and stay strong and healthy. And I do have very specific protein goals. On the days that I don't train, between 60 and 80 grams. On the days that I do train, I try to hit 100 grams of protein, between 80 and 100 grams. That's a bit more than 1 gram, usually a bit less than 1 gram, because I'm trying to strike a balance between living long and healthy and maintaining strength and muscle mass on active days. Beyond that, I show up for training 7 days a week. Although training might be a big word, first of all, I try to move for 1.5 to 2 hours every day of the week, of which 30 minutes are some form of training. So that could be kettlebell training, like what we're going to do today, or mobility training, about 30 minutes, or sprints, hit runs, so endurance or hit training once a week, or agility and speed drills, usually on Sunday. And I try to build in at least one 30-minute run somewhere throughout the week, but the other 1.5 hour usually spent walking or doing other things to and from stores, carrying groceries or taking stairs at work, or sometimes I'll just sneak into the gym and do like 5 minutes of pull-ups and squats or something in the middle of the day. But those kinds of activities. So to generally make sure that I have a lot of activity throughout the day. I try to spend time with people I love and care about, and I try to do things that I enjoy. So hey, if you're interested in any of those things, you go ahead, hit like, leave a thumbs up on the channel, subscribe. We're at 1,300 subscribers, which is nice. Let's try to get that up to 1,400 over the course of the next couple of months. Maybe we can even hit 2,000 by the end of the year. And if you're here and you like what I'm doing, stick around and watch. Every minute counts. Trying to get to those 3,000 minutes of watch time on the channel. So if you want to help me out, please go ahead and watch a couple of videos and make sure that I hit that watch time. Today we're going to continue with kettlebell for beginners. So we're going to do a little warm-up, nothing too crazy, easy peasy, and then we're going to get started with the kettlebell program and tutorials. We're going to do single exercises, we're going to do combinations, and we're going to do swings at the end of that. And then I'm going to show you another kettlebell complex just so you get an idea of what's possible with kettlebell once we start to master the movements. 5:43 a.m. I am going to hit the timer, and we are going to get started. All right, friends. Okay, the warm-up. We're just going to do some preparation, but we're also going to warm up a little bit. So we have a plank that we're going to hold just for 10 seconds. Nothing crazy. Make sure you squeeze those glutes, tighten those cores, create that, tuck that chin, yeah, and release. And this is both a warm-up and a movement preparation rolled into one. And again, squeeze those cores, abs, quads, tuck that chin, create that neutral spine, and just hold. And from that, we're going to move into some jumping jacks. Nothing too quick, nothing too crazy. Just get that blood flowing. Tell your body that it needs to prepare for some activity. Very nice. And go back to that plank. And remember to keep breathing all the while. Nothing crazy. All right. Now we're just going to do 10 squats. Just going to go down, go back up, go down, go back up. Again, you are simply telling your body that it needs to be prepared for some activity. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, because kettlebells, overhead presses target the chest, but not exclusively, I always include push-ups. And push-ups are also a nice variation of the plank. So if you want, you simply do 5 push-ups. I'm going to do 10, but you can do 5, and over time build up to 10. That is not a problem. Okay? And we're going to do those 10 squats. We catch our breath a little bit. We're nice and warmed up now. Just going to take it easy. Do those squats. We're working every minute on the minute. And we're not doing anything crazy today because I also have another 1 to 2 hour hike ahead of me over the course of the day. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And even without weight, those squats will always just get to you. Okay, we're going to do another set of push-ups. Then we're going to grab the kettlebell. We're going to start off with the singles. This is going to be deadlift, It's going to be a row. It's going to be squats. It's going to be overhead presses. And then there are going to be push-ups again. Okay? You can do at least 5 repetitions, 3 if you're having a really hard time. And if you feel like doing more, you can every round try to add 1 to see if you can make it up to 10 repetitions over time. Taking a light kettlebell, take as light a kettlebell as you want, because we're predominantly focused on technique, not on anything else. At the moment, we are learning, and we're learning step by step. For the kettlebell, the hinge, neutral spine, yeah. So this is not a squat down. This is driving the hips back, pulling at the weight, feeling it in our hamstrings and in the back, using those wings and simply lifting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at you. Kettlebell on the mountains. 5. Kettlebell deadlifts, which if we master that, we have a good precursor to the kettlebell swing, don't we? All right. Now, moving on to the next exercise, which is the row, which has that same starting position. So you want to feel that again in your hamstrings, glutes, neutral spine. Tuck that neck, bring those back muscles to bear. 2, 3, 4, 5, and just bring it up right at the bottom of your sternum, and try to stay as inclined as you can. If you can, be almost perpendicular to the floor. Hold the power to you. And that was 10 times, but you can do that with a minimum of 5 repetitions. And then move on. 6, 7, 8. The goblet squat, fan favorite for kettlebell enthusiasts. Ball up, fixed here, and this is a knee dominant motion. Okay, the final one we're going to do next is that squat, is that overhead press, two-handed. And we're going to do that with the goblet up. We're going to see and again, 5 times is more than enough. Squeeze those glutes. Activate the quad, core, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can set it back down. Okay, so you see I'm doing variations of 5 and 10, but that's okay. We're going to do this entire set one more time. Then we're going to make some combinations. So we're going to do deadlift to rows, And then we're going to do squats to overhead presses. You're going to see the squat to overhead press is going to make that overhead press a lot easier. But we're going to start again with some push-ups. Again, it's always important to hold that good plank just to the ground. Okay, so one more time, one by one. So remember, I just show up for 30 minutes. That's the time I have to do the workout. And it's that simple and that easy. If you're consistent over time, 3 times a week with a kettlebell. Remember the other days I do mobility or I'm running. And you will get fitter and stronger. And you'll start to notice a difference. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, good position. Feel it in your hamstrings. Feel that hinge. Okay? Back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if anything hurts at any time, you stop. And the kettlebelling is over. There is no problem in you not training. Okay? Absolutely not a problem. However, if you are having a good time, good. Keep going. Find the exercises that you enjoy. And simply keep yourself active and busy for life. And remember, the way to practice that hip hinge, stand 1 foot away from the wall and simply push your hips back until your butt hits the wall. And learn to master that motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it helps on the squat if I let the elbows touch the knees. And you saw there a bit of balancing because it's easier to squat deeper with a counterweight held out in front of you. All right, overhead press, 2-handed, and again, nothing crazy. Okay, so we're going to do push-ups, then we're going to do combinations. The combinations are going to be fun because they all work into a specific flow. that we are learning to master here step by step. Okay? So the first combination that we're going to do is going to be a deadlift set down to a row. And we're just going to repeat that 5 times because we're doing 1 repetition of the set, but that's 2 exercises. So in total, you're getting 10 repetitions in. Nice and slow, nice and easy, bit by bit. Take your time. So it is a deadlift, set it down, row, deadlift, set it down, row. Be mindful to complete the hinge every time. Up for a lift and down one more time. Okay, there you go. Now you're fantastic and you're good to go. All right, now the real fun starts. No, I'm joking. Now we're going to do the same with the squat and the overhead press. So we squat, press, squat, press. Don't forget to reach that lockout at the top. And we're back to push-ups. And just condensed 4 minutes of exercise into 2. We're still getting that full body impact. Yeah. All right, so back to the push-ups. And then we're back to deadlifts and rows. Deadlifts and rows. You can see the deadlift, the kettlebell is nicely in between my legs, but the tension on deadlift, row, deadlift, row, deadlift, row, deadlift, row, deadlift, row. Always be mindful of your back, of your posture, and like I said, if everything feels uncomfortable or anything hurts, you simply want to make sure that you stop. Make sure you're checked out by a doctor. Get checked by a physiotherapist. Find a good physical trainer, personal trainer, who can help you understand proper technique. Okay. And we go for the squat, press, press, lock out to the top, squat, dominant on the knees, one more, just for fun, and here we go. Okay, now one more set of these. Now we're going to try some kettlebell swings. Because we're building up all of this core strength for a reason. But before we dive into kettlebell swings, we're going to do simple core exercise. Do a simple core exercise with the kettlebell. Because our core is one of the most important parts we are going to develop with the kettlebells. Okay, feel it in that hinge position, neutral spine, deadlift, row, deadlift, row, deadlift, row, deadlift, row, deadlift, row. And then we're going to go through with the squat and press. And then we're going to try some swings because it is time. And hold on to your kettlebell. For crying out loud, do not drop 4 kilos, 6 kilos, or 8 kilos onto your head. Okay, for this, we're going to pick up a slightly lighter kettlebell. And we're going to use a 10 count to start with. Now for this, you want the kettlebell to be resting on the palm of your hand. So you don't want to be holding it much like this. You want it to be resting palm of your hand. Bring it up overhead. Lift this leg off the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If that is too difficult, you can always rack it and press it overhead as well. All right, moving it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see, that's slightly difficult. Left hand is not my dominant hand. But what we're doing by removing the base of support and adding the weight is we are challenging our core to stay strong. Same variation, different side. Lift it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Take a little break. Move to the other side. Now, is this exercise going to give you a six-pack? No. Oh, see? There you have that pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to give you a six-pack, but it is going to give you a strong core, okay? Final variation, rack it carefully. Remember, diagonally across the hand. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The good thing about this training is you get some balance work in as well. Other side, properly racked. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know, it doesn't feel like much, doesn't look like much, but believe me, you start doing that with heavier and heavier weights, and you are going to grow strong. Okay. Swings, same starting position. We're going to do 5 sets. If you cannot do a swing properly, pain-free, a single one, right, up. If this doesn't work, if it only comes to here, still good, okay? If this is painful, or this is painful, please stop and just continue with 5 sets of 5 deadlifts, okay? Figure out where the pain comes from. See a physiotherapist, see a personal trainer to help figure out if there is a structural problem or if there's just a muscular weakness that needs to be addressed with specific training, and then come back to kettlebells. All right? But if you have a 4 kilo or a 6 kilo and you can comfortably swing it, then we're going to do 5 sets of 5 swings. Very simple. Hike, up, hike, up. Remember to plank at the top and to keep those arms relaxed. I have tutorials about this on my channel. Do not pull with the arms, okay? Let the force and momentum generated by the big muscles in your legs carry that kettlebell forward and upward. And here we go again. 5 times. Neutral spine, good position, and up. And 5. We don't have to do more. We're learning the technique. We're learning how it feels. It should feel relatively smooth and easy. The thrust. And at this point, the momentum transfers through the chain, through the arms, bringing the kettlebell up. The kettlebell will be weightless for a moment. Where the kettlebell is weightless, you can release it and grab it. You can release it with one hand to get a feel for it, and grab it on its way down. That is the power of a kettlebell swing. There's a moment of doubt in physics where it doesn't know whether it needs to go up or down. Now, 1, 2, 3, see? 4, 5, 6. Of course, if you're training at home in your house, don't drop it on the floor. Don't drop it on your toes. Be careful. Don't damage your floor or your house. It's the third set. Going into the fourth set. You're doing great this morning. And look, the dark clouds are disappearing. It is becoming sunshiny here on the mountains. Isn't that wonderful? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this, by the way, is what you might refer to as a hardstyle swing. There's also a kettlebell sports style swing. It's slightly different. You basically double dip. It's a lot more energy efficient. You can use it for endurance training with lighter weights. But we'll get around to it. Right now we're building core strength, core conditioning, and we are simply trying to make sure that our bodies are strong enough to deal with everyday challenges like hiking 2 hours up a 2,500 meter high mountain, for example. Don't worry, I only marched 450 meters up the elevation. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me give you a little show of what we're working towards. Okay, first two-handed. You're going to see that we're going to put all 4 of the exercises together that we've been doing. I'm going to work towards a nice complex line with a weight. You're just getting started, moving, taking it easy. You're just going to do, 4 to 5 repetitions of this full flow at one point in a minute. That is a deadlift. That is a row. That is a clean squat. Press. Set it down. Deadlift. Row. Two-handed clean. Squat. Press. Set it down. Deadlift. Row. Clean. Squat. Press. Set it down. 3 times. Work to 4 times to 5 times. But we'll work towards that. Next week we'll do the two-handed clean. And then the week after we'll do the entire combination. And this gets more difficult the heavier you take it. That's one kettlebell complex. Here we're going to have another one, which is a swing, clean, squat, press, swing, clean, squat, press. Okay, that is another kettlebell complex that you can learn, and there are endless variations to that. For example, we can pick it up with a swing, a clean, a lunge, and a press. swing, clean, lunge, press. Let's do that again. Swing, clean, lunge, press. Okay, so you can start to build different variations and different techniques with kettlebell as you progress and learn and master different movements. But the foundations are all the same: deadlift, squat, press, row, and we're simply taking it easy and taking our time to learn and master these things. Friend, thanks for dropping by, for saying hi. I hope this was useful. I hope you found it useful. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 41 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. For example, being able to take my family out into the mountains where I can hike for 2-3 hours a day, so we can have an active, fun and adventurous life together. I do that by minding my sleep, minding what I eat, showing up for training, spending time with people I love and care about, doing things that I enjoy. I have a podcast I record on Sundays, check it out, where we talk about health, fitness, and some reflections on the week and on life and on the challenges of staying fit. I stream daily workouts here on the channel. If you're interested, go ahead, drop by. We can have a conversation and have fun and talk about training, and obviously, feel free to watch any of the videos that are out on my channel. I'd really appreciate that. Remember that we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we move on. It's the person we are today. It's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness is going to go a long way. There are enough people out there who want to put us down. We lift ourselves up in this community as well, each other. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So I will see you tomorrow. Take care, friends. And remember to subscribe. And I appreciate everyone who said hi. Jason, Grogu, David, good to see you again. Poor man's Jim, good to see you. Have a good day, good night as well. Chick, thanks for dropping by. Kim Knight, always good to see you. Maya, appreciate the support. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Remember to subscribe.